Hi, Dylan Foote here with your latest Gold Coast property market update, and there's plenty to cover this month with some encouraging news if you're thinking of buying, investing or making a move in the near future. Let's start right here at home. Despite a bit of noise in the media about property prices slowing down, we're still seeing strong demand across the Gold Coast. Properties are holding value, competition remains steady, and there's consistent interest from both locals and interstate buyers who see the Gold Coast for what it is, an incredibly livable and high growth region. In fact, one of the trends we're noticing is more and more buyers is coming in with offers well below market value, hoping to score a deal. Unfortunately, many of them are missing out altogether. The reality is the market has shifted. If you're not pricing to where things are right now, you're likely to get left behind. Now, let's talk about affordability, because for the first time in a year, we're seeing some meaningful improvement. According to national figures from March 2025 quarter, the average loan repayment now amounts to 48% of the median family income. That's a 2% improvement since last quarter, but still 1% higher than this time last year, which highlights just how challenging conditions were for buyers through 2024. This is the largest quarterly improvement in affordability since March 2016, and it wasn't limited to just one part of the country. It was seen in every state and territory except the Northern Territory. What's driving the change? Two key things. First, median family incomes have increased to $2,561 per week, which is 1.1% higher than the previous quarter and 4% higher than a year ago. And second, average monthly loan repayments have dropped by 2.9%, now sitting at $5,323 per month. It might not solve every affordability challenge overnight, but it's certainly a step in the right direction and a bit of breathing room many households have been waiting for. For renters, the March quarter also marked the second consecutive quarter of modest improvement in rental affordability across most of Australia. However, here in Queensland, continued population growth is keeping upward pressure on rents. That's obviously a challenge for tenants, but for landlords and investors, it's a strong sign of healthy rental returns, helping to offset the cost of ownership. On the topic of buyers, first home buyers made up 35.7% of all owner-occupied commitments last quarter. That's a solid chunk of the market, even though it's down slightly by 1.1% compared to a year ago. It shows that despite rising costs, many people are still doing what it takes to break into the market, and rightly so. Even getting in at a modest level now can build serious long-term value thanks to compounding capital growth. Another one to watch is interest rates. The Reserve Bank's meeting minutes showed there was an active discussion about whether the next rate cut should be 0.25% or even a 0.5%. That's a big shift in tone, and if we see rates ease over the next 6 to 12 months, we're likely to see further growth in buyer activity and continued upward pressure on prices. But with rate cuts comes a word of caution. Lower rates often lead to higher borrowing, which can push up prices and potentially reduce affordability again. So if you're on the fence about buying, this current window where affordability is slightly better and rates are expected to ease could be one of the more favourable conditions we've seen in a long time. And before I wrap up, one important heads up: Queensland's new seller disclosure requirements come into effect on August 1st. This means sellers will need to provide more upfront detail on known property defects or issues before going to market. It's a shift away from the old buyer beware model, and it brings Queensland in line with other states. If you're thinking about buying or selling after August, it's worth getting organised early so you're not caught off guard by the added complexity. So where does that leave us? We've got improving affordability, possible interest rate relief ahead, strong demand on the Gold Coast, and some important legal changes for the sellers on the horizon. Whether you're buying, selling, or just staying informed, it's a great time to take stock and plan your next move. So if you'd like a one-on-one chat about your property options in this market, I'm always here to help. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you again soon with the next update. Bye for now.